Balanced and unbalanced forces. Balanced forces. What are they? Well, look at this apple on top of the table. You may think there are no forces acting upon the apple, but actually there are. Gravity is always pushing down to the center of the earth, and the table is pushing a reaction force onto the apple. What you see here is a free body diagram. A free body diagram consists of the object or objects, in this case the table and the apple. Next, you have to draw arrows from the center of the object, which is the apple. These arrows are the types of forces the objects are applying on each other and in which direction they do so. In this case, gravity is pushing down and the reaction force, which is from the table, is pushing the apple back up. What forces are acting on the car? Well, we always start with gravity pushing the car to the earth. At the same time, there should be a reaction force from the road onto the car. Is that all? Well, yes, this is true if the car is stationary, but what if it wasn't? Let's say the car was moving at a constant speed. What forces would be acting upon the car then? Well, the car would be thrusting through the air to move, and at the same time, air resistance will be trying to slow the car down. The forces of thrust and air resistance on the car should be equal if the car is moving at a constant speed. Unbalanced forces. What are they? Well, let's use the car example again. Now, the gravity and reaction forces will stay as normal. Let's say the car was accelerating. If that happened, the forces of air resistance and thrust would not be the same. Because the car is speeding up, it's applying more thrust than the air resistance on the car to slow it down. Notice how the thrust arrow is greater than the air resistance arrow. Well, in free body diagrams, the length of the arrow shows how much of that force there is on the object. So when we look at a free body diagram, we can see how the forces affect the object and how it's doing so. For example, we know that because the thrust arrow is greater than the air resistance arrow, the car is accelerating. But what if the air resistance arrow was greater than the thrust arrow? Well, that would just mean that the car is decelerating or slowing down. Thank you for watching.